All right, ladies and gentlemen of the 118 scale, 3.75 inch, 4-inch modern action figure community, I'm back again with another video. And in this video, I want to discuss recent news of Hasbro terminating 1,100 of their employees. So let's get into it. So I'm no scholar of what's going on with Hasbro right now, and but I do have opinions. And my opinion in this matter is, Hasbro, why didn't you read the market? I think it's a way to scapegoat and get rid of people without too much of a repercussion. And if you really want to play it that way, I have a way that I look at it. For instance, Hasbro, what happened? You're saying that that the demand is down or something like that. So I'm going to put the article here so that you can see it right along with me. But apparently they're saying that the market's just not there. But I think the market is there. I think you decided to ignore your customer base, your largest fan base uh, of all time, has to be the G.I. Joe brand. So why wasn't the G.I. Joe brand pushed? I, for one, saw when they released the retro line, the retro line was very difficult to find. I would go to stores and I would probably see some peg warmers. Maybe one. I always saw the Stalker figure there. I did buy one, but where's all the other ones? The Scarlet was impossible to get your hands on, and some of the others just weren't there. So why didn't you dial back on making Peppa Pig toys and Transformers? Because Transformers, I don't ever see anybody buying those. I'm sure there's a fan base out there for them, but it ain't what G.I. Joe has done, you know? Also, I take it one step further and I say, Hasbro, why did you ignore your fan base, your origins, and create the classified line and totally neglect the 4-inch line or the 1 3/4 line? You know, completely neglected that line. The fans would say, we don't want the classified line. So, all right, now I'd say 2 years in on the classified line, we're starting to see that there's a market for that classified line. People love those things. Me, I'm not one of them, but I really like that Hasbro has G.I. Joe figures on the shelf, so I don't complain about them. Plus, there are some of the 6-inch figures that I really like and I feel have really done well. But why did you completely abandon the retro line, which the retro line was like Sasquatch? You hear so much about them, you just never see one. You know, I never saw retro figures. I felt that was very sneaky of Hasbro to dangle those in front of our face and never give us any. So what happened to that? Also, Hasbro, what happened to cornering the market? You guys were the origins and the best at the action figure world. So why didn't you snatch up failing toy lines like Power Team Elite and World Peacekeepers and all those other toy lines that weren't doing so hot? You could have taken those lines and you could have, you know, really capitalized on the military figure. And also, you failed to read the market on the fact that the action figures were no longer a kid's thing. Children just weren't into that. They're so into their iPads and iPhones and PlayStations and Xboxes and stuff that they're not necessarily into action figures anymore. You know, I mean, you give a kid an action figure, they're going to love it either way because it's a toy. But see what they're doing with that toy 4 hours after you gave it to them. It's going to be somewhere. It's probably going to be in pieces. So you saw the market went away from the kids and and stayed with the original children who are now in their 30s and 40s and 50s, who really love these figures and now keep them dear to their heart as memorials of their childhood. You know, a mother and a mother walking through a store is not willing to pay $20 for a GI Joe in Target. Meanwhile, a 30, 40, 50-year-old is. So you should have geared your market towards that age group. These things have become collector items. People are actively trading these things online for a lot of money, bartering these things up. So why didn't you read that market? Also, you could have taken the time. You see what Joy Toy did? They became they started releasing these reality-based military figures. And G.I. Joe, why didn't you do that? Why didn't you start making more basing stuff more in reality, as opposed to, to keep the old figures out there? Because I know I still love the old figures and the old way they were done, but to do a new model and to make some reality figures coming out now. And Transformers, I didn't look up any statistics on them, but I don't think Transformers is as popular as G.I. Joe ever will be. Peppa Pig, I'm sure there's someone buying those for little kids, but G.I. Joe is your money market. That's the cash cow. You should have executed that. Executed wasn't the right word. Should have capitalized on that. I think that's a better word. So I've been looking online and I see a lot of people saying that, you guys are complaining and sitching about the figures. No, we're not complaining and sitching. What we're doing is we're requesting from a brand that we are active consumers in to hear us also, to hear our pleas and hear what we want, as opposed to the 6-inch line. I've never complained about the 6-inch line. I mean, they're cool, but what about the figures that I like? It is what it is. So what a hard, devastating blow to hear that at the holidays, you and 1,100 plus others of your associates, your fellow associates, are going to be without jobs. And deep down inside what caused that. That it was a failure in marketing. It was a failure in cornering markets. It was a failure all around. And now you have to suffer for it. But before I go, I must say, I don't think that, let me rephrase that. I don't know what Hasbro has done, but those are just my opinions on what I saw. I could be wrong. How about you guys enter the chat and talk to me on this? Let me hear your thoughts and concerns on this matter. In the meantime, man, let's keep those associates in our prayers, man, because there's no joke like losing a job, and what if you're the sole breadwinner? Man, let's just, keep them in our thoughts, because that's horrible. And this is what a time to find out that you're going to be jobless. So with that being said, I'm out. You got any questions or comments, feel free, put them down below. I'll get to them at my earliest convenience. That being said, thank you. Peace.